Welcome to Grieville Media, brought to you by Tommy's Plumbing, 423-620-7522. Tonight we have Ian Bible with Tech Chat. How you doing, Ian?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Yeah, so I guess. I'm glad holidays are over.
Yep, holidays are over. It's time to get back to work.
Well, I did like the not working part.
I missed it. I didn't feel right. I mean, I don't know. I didn't take very long off. I went out of town for a little bit, came back as quick as I could, got under that snowstorm. But, yeah, this is the time of year I was telling you earlier. This is when I do all my house cleaning on all my technology at home, do my computers. I got to reload mine. I had a 1 terabyte hard drive start telling me it was going to fail. So I got a 3 terabyte for Christmas. I still have to reload my operating system. I haven't done that. I've moved around all the data I have. You know how long it takes around to move? How long it takes to move around a few terabytes of data?
2,332 minutes.
I don't. Crud. I can't convert that to hours or whatever. It was several. Yeah, it takes a day or two of it just constantly moving.
I know when I played WoW and downloaded the WoW off of the server, it was like 24 gigs, and it would take about 6 hours.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they can. You can get really fast internet connections now, though. But, yeah, so that's what I've been having to do, and getting ready to reload all my programs and everything. It'll only take me a few hours. It's just I hate doing it, especially to my own stuff, you know. But it's got to be ready to run for the year. I won't have time to fix my own stuff once business picks up here in a couple of weeks.
I'm all about business picking up.
Oh, yeah. I am, too. Did you get anything good for Christmas? You get any good gadgets?
It's out in the car. I meant to show it to you. I was sitting here looking around in the office, folks, and trying to find it, and I couldn't find it. But my wife got me the Dragon Naturally Speaking.
Oh, the dictation software.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to write my book.
All right. Good. Yeah, I've seen that software in use. It takes an hour or so to train it. It gives you a bunch of stuff to read to it. So, yeah. You'll be in the zone then, sitting there I can see you back in the corner in the dark of one of your laptops talking to your computer.
And I'll write my book and tell my story of, the biography of Jack Wilkerson. No.
Is it any good?
No. Pretty sucky. No, I do want to use it to write a story that I've got working on in my head. It's called Bliss.
Okay. All right. I didn't get any. Well, I mean, I got some parts for my stuff. I got a new 42-inch monitor for my computer.
A 42-inch monitor.
That's what I use it for, yeah. So I got the 24 and then the 42 right next to it. It's just basically a big TV. I just plug it into my computer since I don't have anything else. I've been looking into set-top boxes, ones I want to get for myself. That might be a few weeks before I can get that done, but already I'm looking for the ones that I can put my own software onto, the ones you can put your own custom firmwares on, make them do what they can really do, not just what they do out of the box. That's always aggravating. Get something out of the box, it says it does something, but it does it poorly. And then somebody else came up with software that does it right, and there you go.
Well, I hope to shine some light on the holidays and we can help some people with their new gadgets and stuff. What do you got lined up for us this week?
This week we're going to talk about backups for your computer and your phone. I mean, we know all these pictures and everything we've been using. Everything now, everybody's got a digital camera. A lot of camcorders are even just all digital. Of course, a lot of times now we all use our phones. I know my phone does high-def video, and you've got one that does, and all the pictures you can take on your phone. And, and not just pictures. If you can back up your pictures, you can back up your documents also. So that's the one thing. So you need to get, if you've got just a digital camera, you need to take that card out of your camera and put it into your computer. A lot of them have the SD card slots. If not, you can get the adapters at Radio Shack. SD to USB adapters, so you can download everything to your computer. And then once you get them to your computer, then that's where we really need to back things up, right? It's easy enough to get an external hard drive. You can get a 1 terabyte for about $90 now in a lot of places. Most of these drives, they come with software built in, or included to do backups. If your version of Windows doesn't have Windows backup built in, there's lots of things to do, but you need to back up. You can put them on an external, but the problem is if the external is kept in the same spot as your computer, then it's not really a backup, is it? It's just another copy. So
yeah, it's a clone in the same space.
Right. So it's not a backup. And there's some people, they say if it's not backed up in 3 different places, it's not backed up. And that can get tough. That can become cumbersome. But, there's cloud-based software that you can use. Carbonite's a really good one. I've installed that for a lot of people, a lot of businesses also. The home one, I think it's $60 a month now not a month, per year. Mm-hmm. For a year, and you get unlimited amount, but it's only for one computer and not an external drive. So whatever it is you got in that one computer, it can be backed up. I was telling you I got 4.5 terabytes in my computer now. I don't know how long that would take them to upload that, but and then for businesses you can get 250 gigs for an unlimited number of computers, which is really nice, and it's all cloud. As soon as you close a file that's in a folder that you've told it to back up, which is really easy to do, it backs up. So you've always got that backup available. So there's one, and then you've got your hard copy, your external drives. I don't know, not many people do tapes anymore. You can get those though for some businesses and stuff like that. And then there you've got an off-site backup, you've got an on-site backup. And usually, if you're a business, I would set you up with more than one hard drive and tell you to at least swap it out once a week, and have the other one stored somewhere, off-site. So that gets you covered as far as backups, because, I've had a lot of people calling me this week. Their SD card that all of their pictures were on, that they've always had in their phone or their camera since they've got it, has gone bad, or something's gone wrong, and they can't get their pictures back because they haven't had a backup. A lot of, plug it in with your USB cable. I know all Android phones, a lot of cameras, plug them straight into Windows, and Windows will see it. Say, hey, this is a camera. Let's get the pictures off of it. It does it automatically now. On your phone, there's a few things you can do with pictures. If you have, I think Facebook, and I know the Google Plus app has it, automatically uploads your pictures for you. You can set it up so that it does it only over Wi-Fi, so it doesn't eat up all your data. But since it goes up, and I know Google Plus, it goes up and it won't publish them for you, but at least they'll be up, in a cloud type format or type place, and it does it automatically in the background for you, so you don't even have to think about it. Otherwise, you're going to have to. You can get a cloud-based software for your phone, Android phones. One of them is called Memory Zone from SanDisk. It's an Android app you can get, and it will collect whatever folders you tell it to and put it in your Dropbox or your other cloud-based storage that you have. SugarSync also has a cloud-based phone application for you.
Well, now my first question for you is, I know it's all cloud-based, and there's individual clouds up there because it's not one whole cloud.
Right. Yep.
Each little company has their own cloud. How secure is the cloud?
Well, we talked about passwords in the last episode 2 weeks ago now. That helps. The Carbonite cloud, it is anytime. Okay, when you're doing cloud-based backups, you want to check for pre-egress encryption. That means it's encrypted on your computer before it goes over the internet. Okay, so your data stream going over the internet is encrypted. So as long as it's encrypted from your computer, Carbonite does do this. Carbonite even gives you the option to for the encryption keys to be only kept by you, if you so choose. And in that case, if for whatever reason, the data at Carbonite is compromised, which hasn't happened yet. They've been in business for quite a while. Your encryption keys are not on site with Carbonite, or if for whatever reason, like they're subpoenaed to give up some data, to hand over your data, they'll just give it over, but it'll be encrypted, and you don't have to give that up, your encryption keys. So they are secure. They're not. I don't think that they've been tested, and they haven't been existing long enough. There's a lot of companies that know they won't. You check the terms of service on it, and there's some questionability about there who actually owns the data. Mega Upload is one example. They got shut down. The government took their servers, which had everybody's data on it, even people that weren't doing anything wrong, and they lost, everybody lost their data. The government was saying, well, it wasn't that we were taking lots of other people's property, we were taking evidence, which was the servers in that case. And that's got a lot of people kind of scared because the government went ahead and went through all of, all the data that was enclosed in there, even though, so everybody's data, a lot of people were using that is the way we use Dropbox now, because Mega Upload was before Dropbox, to distribute large files, since you can only email, up to a 20 meg,
25, I think.
Yeah, 25 meg attachment. A lot of times you can make a high def video and you want to share it with your whole family or whatever, with your project group, anything. You upload it to Dropbox, and then everybody's got a link where they can download it directly instead of it being sent email or directly from your computer. Where were we going with that? You would ask about security.
Yeah.
Okay. So the passwords, encryption. Also, what you can do is make sure that anything you send up in the cloud is encrypted by yourself before it's encrypted by the software and uploaded. So you can do those things to help better protect yourself. But there are some cases, some companies, they just don't trust it at all, and they build their own cloud. Of course, that comes, building your own is pretty expensive, but if you can, cost benefit that, good for you. Companies, though, you can, for backups, you can make your own. You can do what's called a network attached storage. So it's basically like a file server that sits on your network that every computer in your network can access. There's redundant disks in the network. It's called a network appliance. It's basically a bunch of hard drives that sit just only on the network. They plug in and away they go. Those are really nice, and then you can swap those out monthly or whatever kind of thing. So it's just, the more secure you want it, the more difficult it is to use. There's been a lot of work in software that makes that really easy, background type stuff. But if you want to make sure absolutely sure it can be done, it just adds a few more steps, and so therefore a little bit more difficult. But that's always true. Try to get into the vault at a bank. There's a lot of hoops you got to jump through.
No, I can go to the bank and the vault's wide open.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, no, I'm talking about the big banks.
Not our little bitty banks we got here. If anybody wants to call in and ask Ian a question, feel free. The phone number is 423-972-4444, and he will be more than happy to answer your questions. And if you can stump him, I'll even clap for you. I can't give away a prize, but I'll clap for you.
We can send you a picture or something.
I'll send you a picture of Ian in defeat.
All right. Thanks, Jack, for issuing that challenge out there for me. Let's see. What do you got for me this week?
Well, I'm thinking, this is what I've been thinking, because I've been listening to you, is I want to get like Hulu Plus, and, and watch it at home, and I've been doing a little studying, is my TV is not wireless, so but I could I take my laptop home and hook in HDMI and then hook it into my TV like that?
Yeah.
Now, how much does an average HDMI cable cost?
It depends on the length. If you get a 6-foot HDMI cable, I think they're like $12. They've got a bunch of them at Radio Shack. They've got a bunch of them, even at Walmart.
Now will that send the sound to the TV?
Yep,
as
HDMI
well?
does video and sound over one cable.
Okay,
yep.
now that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's the way to go. It's nice. Yeah, these laptops you got sitting here have HDMI. My tablet has HDMI out. I do that a lot. Plug it into a high def TV, and it mirrors what shows up on the screen. The laptops, when you do it, you can say, "Hey, you've got a second screen now." Basically, like I've done with my TV at home. It's just a second monitor as far as the computer's concerned, and away you go. So you don't have to. It doesn't have to be mirrored what you see on the screen happening. one screen happens on the other. You can drag one over, so you can still be working away on the laptop if you want.
That's what I'm planning on getting that for the home.
Yeah, or you can get you a Roku box or Western Digital Live. You know, these things we've been talking about before. Those Roku boxes, they're on sale now. I think they're like $79.
Hey, I got a question to ask you.
Oh.
Is because I have, as you can see, I have the cable TV here in the studio. Now, what kind of connection would I need to hook it up to my laptop?
Oh, cable TV?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you'd need a tuner card.
Okay.
I think you can get those. I don't know the name brands right offhand, but yeah, just cable tuner USB adapter probably is what you'd be, Google search for. And I know they're out there. So it'll basically be like a graphics card that you plug into your computer. I know they have them for PCs, and you just have a tuner in there, and then you can turn your computer into a DVR and all that stuff, which is really nice.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's just it eats up hard drive space real quick when you start saving video.
No, I ain't gonna be saving no video. I'll just be watching it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you can get a tuner card, no problem, and watch it on your computer. If you wanted to. I mean, shoot. Flat panels are real cheap right now. Really cheap. That's why I got mine.
Yeah, I'm planning on making some changes and arrangements here in the office and going to video and doing a lot of video stuff with the the radio stuff, internet stuff, and changing aspects.
That'd be great. Now I'm gonna have to make sure my hair's all right when I come and do the show, right?
You're gonna have to look pretty.
I'm gonna have to be pretty. Dang it. Yeah. I mean, it's one thing to put your voice out there, but
now I'm gonna have to put some clothes on.
If people could see you right now at home, it's a disgrace. Can't believe your wife let you leave the house.
Well, I get here and I got to be comfy.
Right. It is cold in here.
Well, that's what everybody says, and it's mostly the women that say that, Ian.
You're wearing a coat as well. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, okay, I'll show you now. Here, hold on, folks. See, this is when we need the video.
Right. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
You can put that coat back on.
I'm comfy now. So I was wearing a tank top under my coat, so.
Oh, wow.
I just got to look like the normal people. But on the inside, I'm different.
Okay. Yep. You can say that, too.
Well, we always get off topic here with me and you, but I enjoy it.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of fun.
But the tech gadgets, we got some cool stuff. I got my Dragon Naturally Speaking, and the kids got I don't even know what it is. It's a CD player, a huge CD player, and then the window pops out, and they can watch DVDs in it. We can hook it up to the TV. It does all kinds of cool stuff. And, my daughter got a Nintendo DSi, and my son got one of those Leap pads.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So, and I'm still, I still don't get access to my Kindle Fire until they go to sleep.
And is it really yours?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my wife jumped on me because, at the very top it says Jack's Kindle.
That worked. That showed him.
Mm-hmm. She says, why's your name on it? I said, because I registered it through my email, so it says Jack's Kindle.
So you're going to be getting bills for the books and the movies.
Oh, I'll tell you. And I've got it set up to where it'll email me every time somebody purchases something, even if it's free.
Mm-hmm.
So, and with my daughter, she gets those 10,000 games on there that are free. So it's like going through my email every day is just deleting Amazon orders that are free.
Right. I was going through the Google Play Store the other day, right about this time of year. They usually have a lot of sales going on. You can get a bunch of stuff for 99 cents and things, looking for games. I've seen now you can get little game controller holders that connect to your phone Bluetooth, but they've got little clips in them so they can hold your phone. So it's like a little game, like the DSIs are. So you've got you've got your own controllers and buttons and actual physical buttons, and so you're not using the screen. And it just sits there and holds onto the screen for you so you can play away.
Yeah, I need to go back to the updated version of the Game Boy. It was Nintendo something, but it wasn't a Game Boy. It was the colored version.
Yeah, the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love that thing. I remember I took a bus ride to Texas one time, and that thing saved my life.
Yeah.
From here to Texas is not a fun bus ride.
It's a long way. But, I mean, it's amazing now, your phones, we used to, even with the PlayStation, the little one, what was it, the
PSP?
Yeah, the PSP, even that thing was real cool. And even the PS Vita now that's out, or the Game Boy Advance, and the 3D one. Have you seen that?
No.
That is pretty, the 3DS, that is pretty cool how it does it, but it thinks you're looking at it and you're not cross-eyed, but you feel like you are. So I've seen that, but my phone plays games better than my computer does most of the time.
But I do have a quick question to ask you. If you can see on my screen here,
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking to get a new HD camera so we can do some live broadcasting, and it's got an external mic here hooked up. It's a Toshiba Camilio Z100 Full HD 3D camcorder.
Right.
Now, what do you think about that? And the price is pretty good for $149.
Yeah, I saw that, and then let's see, what does it say? You can put up to, does it take, what's the storage? Does it have cards, or is it just built-in storage? And the other thing would be, too, is can you put actual lenses on it? Is there optical zoom?
No, I don't. You can't put lenses on it, but it's got the additional storage.
Okay, what was let's see.
SD memory expansion up to 128 gig.
Yep, and you're going to need it.
Yeah.
You're going to need it. Yep. And then you're going to want fast SD cards. If you look at them, there's class 10s. That's what you want. The higher the class number, there's class 3, 4, 6, all the way up to 10. You want to get those because those will be able to transfer data much faster.
Yeah, we're going to do 3D versions of Greenville when we're hitting the streets.
You could do that. Just go outside.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to be live on the streets doing 3D interviews with people. I think it's going to be kind of cool.
That would be really cool. I don't know. I haven't been much very impressed by the 3D stuff. I really like. There's the 4K stuff where they're doing like the new Hobbit movie was they filmed it in 48 frames per second as opposed to the 24 frames that usually is. And so the resolution and the clarity is just ridiculous, but it looks waxy almost.
That brings up a good question of mine is, if you watch these TV channels that sell you stuff, I won't mention any names, but, they'll show you products and TVs, and you're looking at that TV through your TV. I mean, how can you can't really tell the resolution of that TV looking through your TV.
Well, they'll always say, too, screen images are simulated. You'll see it I love reading fine print. But some of these commercials, they got so much fine print, you can't read it all through the whole commercial.
And, those big 90-inch screens, if I ever become rich and build my bunker, I'm going to have a 90-inch screen in there.
I saw one. They got an 85-inch. It does the 4K resolution I was telling you about, or the 4K refresh. It's $25,000. It was in this month's Maxim, actually. I think that's where I saw that.
We are taking donations now. Please call in at 423-972-4444 so I can get that TV.
90-inch. Yep, 48 frames a second. It's about the best thing you can get. The biggest 90 inches, though. That's ridiculous. You can't have a TV that's too big. I think I actually went down. Instead of getting a bigger one, I could have got a slightly bigger TV for maybe $50 more than what I got the one I got now. But I was like, no, the way in my living room it would have been too big.
So, what do you have planned coming up this week and next week?
What do you mean, as far as work?
Work, anything like that? Or?
Well, I mean, I've got, like I said, calls have been coming in. I've got a lot of stuff scheduled over the next couple days. That's the way I usually stay. I usually stay booked a couple days in advance. Sometimes you can get me right that day. But, yeah, so I've got some work. Getting ready to reload my computer at home. Like I said, this is when the winter time's usually when I hibernate, go into my cave at home and work on my stuff, play with play games on my computer. do house cleaning on it, move files around, make sure, get rid of files that I don't need anymore, make sure that my filing structure still fits. I've had to redo it as several times over the years as I've gained more and more and more data, and then also have to fix my backup solution for it, because I think I've got about 3 terabytes of videos and data and just stuff I've collected over the years and years, and I want to lose that.
I'm telling you, I think people will end up losing it. Because how everybody relies on video, cell phones and digital. And I miss the actual picking up the picture and holding it in your hand.
Right. Yep. And then you took better care of it too, because that was the only copy you had. Unless you still had the negatives, you could still get those done.
And all the picture books and scrap books people had, and I can see pictures from 30 years ago. I wonder if 30 years from now, are we still going to have the same digital files?
Yeah, we will. It's. I mean, I don't have any files that old at the moment, but it's so easy to change digital into physical now too. The Walgreens and Kmart and Walmart, you just go down there, plug your whatever file. You can have your flash drive, you can have your SD card, you can have a CD. They'll burn CDs for you, but they'll print them out for you that way. But yeah, that is an interesting question. It's from an 1,000 years in the future. What have we built that will last that long? Or the bulk of what we've done, there's nothing physical to show for it.
Will they be able to come back and see a post I did on Greenville Media today 1,000 years from now?
Maybe not. How long does a post last now? Actually, pretty long time. It just depends on if is the website going to be up 1,000 years from now.
I don't think it will.
But then even like the first web page I ever did, it's not up anymore. Of course, it was back in 1994. But you can find the web cached version of it. Some people go out there and they take pictures of every website and they cache it, for you to search and find it later, which is pretty interesting. So it's almost like data mining. It's like data archaeology already, and the web is not that old. And there's stuff, because it's constantly changing all the time, and it's nothing physical. So all this stuff, all this media that's been created just for the web, like film, even old. Remember, we used to in science class, they'd bring in those films. Sometimes you get the projector. We don't even have that. That was physical, at least.
I remember the big, freaking, humongous laser disc.
yeah.
I still have nightmares about those.
Those things were awesome. Those were so cool.
Oh, I was scared to death of them.
I'm more afraid of film because it was all flimsy and it could burn and you could crinkle it or tear it.
I always thought somebody would take it and just fling it and cut my head off.
You never did that? Oh, not the cutting the head off part, but flinging one as a frisbee. Oh, those are. People look at you like you're crazy. What are you doing with that huge CD? What's a CD?
Yeah, what's a 8-track?
Yeah, God, those were terrible, weren't they?
Or cassette tape.
Yep. It was even CDs now. They just hold data most of the time anymore. I know years ago back, when I used to cruise, I wanted an MP3 capable head unit, stereo in my car, so I could pack 700 megs instead of 70 minutes. And usually an MP3 is 1 minute for a megabyte. So I could do 700 minutes instead of 70 on one disc. I loved that. Now you can just plug them straight in.
And what was it, the 5.25 huge black disc?
Mm-hmm. 5 1/4
and
floppy.
Those were just 3.25. I'm thinking, yeah.
No, they were 2.5. Yeah, they went from 5 1/4 to, were they 3? I don't know. I just remember the capacities. The 5.25s, those were single, so weren't they 128K or something like that? 256 maybe.
Oh my God! Go all the way back to K.
Yep, big K, kilobytes. And then the 1 1/4, the 1.44 megabytes. Well, they were 720, and then they became double density. That's when we had our Macintosh. That was 1985. That happened? Yeah, we got a double density disk drive. Say that several times fast, but yeah, so we could do 1.44 megabytes on one disk. golly, loading up Windows 95 took loading up DOS, took something like 8, 10. It might have been a dozen floppies. You sit there and watch it. Insert NAS disk. And then Windows 98 came out on CD. And that was great because you mean the whole thing just goes on this one CD. We just put it in there and say go, and it installs. That was great. 700 meg on this disk thing. It's not all floppy. It's not magnetic, so it's not going to get tore up. Because floppies they'll go bad just sitting there. Mm-hmm. And so will CDs though. Actually,
heat will cause it.
Or they just degrade naturally. They do have a shelf life. So do CDs. I mean, it's many years. But they do. It just depends on the CD also. If you ever hold up a CD to the light, a CD that you're having trouble playing, the one skips a lot or something like that, hold it up to the light and you'll see a lot of holes, of light coming through that thing. And then sometimes some of the cheaper CDRs that you can get, you can already see through them most of the way now. They're just so flimsy. You put a label on them, they last a whole lot longer. It's weird that way. It's just because the optical film, it's a bit different, and it degrades different.
Well, I want to ask your opinion. Let's go 10 years from now, 100 years from now, and we'll go 1,000 years from now.
Oh, man.
Let's see your technology prediction.
As far as what?
Just pick an item and go with it.
10 years from now? Well, that's a bit easier. You heard of the Google glasses? You were talking about augmented reality where you go around and you point your phone at stuff.
Yeah.
And okay, well they've got that, and it's supposed to go on sale next year. Actually, Google glasses, where you're wearing glasses and it projects information about whatever it is you're looking at on the glasses. Exactly how that works beyond the augmented reality we've already seen, but it's stuff that you are always in your eye. So you could have your RSS feed, your Twitter feed, whatever. If you need to be that hooked up, you can be. But then also looking at stuff. Google Now is a nice service that figures out from your email, your calendar, which is all Google anyways, usually. It's the one it looks at and figures out and takes it pays attention to where you are at what time, keeps track of like the traffic between your house and home. It gives it to you in card format. So I can look at it and it says, oh, your packages have arrived, your packages have shipped, your plane tickets, whatever like that. If you're looking into movies, it says, hey, this movie's playing here at this time. Here's what the weather is, that kind of thing. So information like that can filter in front of your face. And, of course, I could be sitting here looking at you and say, oh, you're Jack Wilkerson. Here's his Facebook feed, his Google+, whatever like that. He's this, and go out and find your social media information and tell me things about you.
Now, how will it recognize me and find my social media stuff?
Facial recognition.
Big Brother is watching.
Yeah, they are. Well, it's not Big Brother. It's Facebook. Which
are owned by Big Brother.
Well, it's a public company now.
Well,
so
I did hear the other day that Facebook is deleting a lot of stuff and banning a lot of people for the Second Amendment posts they are making.
Oh, these ones where people put up and say, "Oh no, you can't use my information."
No. Like the gun rights, where people are, after all the school shootings and stuff, and people's, going against the government and saying you're not, everybody's talking about the government's going to take all the guns now, and then people's putting up Second Amendment rights and discussing past presidents and stuff like that. And I hear Facebook's been deleting a lot of it.
I doubt that. Why would they? What would Facebook care?
Now, I was listening to that nighttime show, Coast to Coast AM, and they was discussing it with different types of people. It's the not really the average citizen, but the high profile people.
What do you mean, like Charlton Heston?
Well, like Alex Jones and other people like that, who have been suspended and then readmitted to Facebook.
Well, there is. Have you ever seen on Facebook on all of the posts it says report this post?
Yeah, for abuse and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I think all that has to happen is enough people click that. It doesn't matter if it's actually true, and their automatic system just kicks them out for a while. They get labeled as a troll. Basically, it's the same as how you can mark an email as spam, and then that person, what happens on the other end of that, if your email gets spammed and it's not, you have to go through a huge process to clear it and say, no, this isn't really spam. This person was on our mailing list, that kind of thing, and you're usually notified. You say, hey, you signed up for this mailing list, whether you knew it or not. You usually are, because those laws have gotten pretty strict. So those unsubscribe links, those things have to work by law, by the way. But yeah, I've been on the other end of a company I worked for, and we sent out mass emails, and a bunch of them got spammed, and then every email that came from us was marked as spam automatically, and of course that's problematic, especially if you're trying to get emails to suppliers, vendors, people to get things like that. So to get that undone is quite an ordeal, and so I know that's what's can happen in Facebook. If just enough people hit report this post and say whatever reason, and Facebook doesn't check it out because they don't have time for that. They're too busy trying to sell ads, which is how they make money. They don't really care what you're saying on there. I mean, they don't have time for that. And anyways, they're Facebook. I'm sure there's somebody way more interesting than you to pay attention to. That's the way that is on that. And Google is awesome. You can go and you can look. They publish their worldwide statistics for stuff that's been pulled down and why. Not exactly what it was, just things that were taken down. There's been some police departments say, hey, can you take this down because it may something. There's been a lot of those, and it'll say some that requests removal requests that were denied. Even there's been a lot. The police, if you'll go to YouTube, a lot of time there's police brutality videos on there. And there's been some state, some police departments say, hey, can you take this down? And Google will say no. And then other times they will say yes, but they have to have a legitimate reason. But it's still up to Google. And that's the thing is, I said earlier, a lot of people that have been posting this, hey, Facebook, this, everything you posted in my profile is mine and private and blah, 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 which it isn't because you said it isn't when you accepted the terms of service when you're using Facebook. Mm-hmm. So just by logging into the thing, that whole statement is gone. And that's the thing is it's like a private club, but so many people use it. It's not really a private club. So they have certain rules that they can impose on you. Say, hey, just by using this, you agree to do by these rules, and if you don't, that's tough. And
yeah, just keep it between us and a few 100 million people.
Yeah, several 100 million. Facebook. I don't know. They are the number one website on the internet. Good for them, I guess. I mean, and it is a nice thing. I use it to keep track of a lot of my friends from across the country. Share pictures. It's a nice way to share pictures and things like that instead of having to do a mass text out kind of text email, a group message. See, that's how often I don't do those things. Having a hard time remembering what they're called.
Well, don't forget our friends, Realty Executives, Reggie Jones. Give them a call for all your house hunting needs. 423-639-3465. Check out their website at greenville-homes.com. Give Reggie a call if you're looking to buy or sell a house. Now, what do you envision 100 years from now?
Okay, so 10 years from now, the augmented reality thing is going to be huge, which I think I want to go back and say, like, now kids, when they're text messaging, and I think there's even been HR directors that said that's how they'd rather. They found that it's easier to conduct interviews by text message than it is to actually do it face to face. Put on your suit and go and talk to the person like, old fashioned.
That's the way I am because I don't like talking to people either.
Yeah, I can see that, but I mean, you need to be able to go out. You and I have had conversations about you doing it too, but I mean, go do an interview. There's certain things. There's been a lot of work on let's we don't need to do it the old way, but let's do it the new way.
What you remember watching the movie Surrogates with Bruce Willis?
No.
You need to watch that movie.
I think that's the one where everybody gets their own robot that is their likeness and okay.
And everybody stays at home and
that's not. Yeah, I mean, everybody kind of can't stay at home, and it's not because they have to, but it's, out of necessity, right? I certainly don't have the money to be going out on the town and social clubs and things like that. The way we communicate is so much easier now and instant. That's a great thing. It's wonderful. I'm not saying that it's not, but Now there's these kids that have never known, passing notes in class, to whoever. That's how they communicated during school. Now they just send a text message or on Facebook or something like that. So that's the difference now. And so imagine growing up in an era where every piece of information is right there in front of your eyes. And then I think 100 years from now it's going to become even more predictable. Or it's going to predict better what it is you need. Whereas now, I sit down on my computer and my homepage is Google, because of course if I'm going online I'm looking for something, right? I'm searching for information, and so now it's just going to be served to you, and that's we're seeing now, with these AdWords and targeted marketing. That's how Google makes their money. Is like, no, these are going to be targeted ads. Anybody that searches for these keywords are going to see your ad, right? And you've seen it too. After you search for, I don't know, say you were looking for a bass boat, for the next several months, even if you're not looking for bass boats, they will show up in your Google feeds, on the sides. It's pretty funny. But, since I was searching for kids stuff, for Christmas and things like that, now, little princess things come up in my advertisements. And, now my Netflix feed is all screwed up now. It thinks I want to see little pretty princess stuff, but
on my on my video feed, my daughter watches cartoons, and or my books. She'll download kids' books, and I'm like, no, don't want to read Little Red Riding Hood.
Tinkerbell has a sister. Did you know that?
Yeah, the winter prince, whatever it is, the winter.
Yeah,
fairy.
she's something like that. But anyways, okay, so 100 years from now, augmented reality is going to be the standard. We're going to be like, what is this physical? You mean a keyboard? What do you mean by a keyboard? That's the way it's going to be. I think self-driving cars are going to be the norm 100 years from now. We're not going to have flying cars. There's no that would have happened by now. And according to Back to the Future, it should have last year, right?
Yeah.
Future Day already happened. But self-driving cars, I think, and that'd be really good. Just get in the car and have it drive you wherever, so you can do, I'm sure your augmented reality look up, Facebook or whatever is going to be 100 years. I don't think.
Now, I remember, how old am I? Okay. 12 years ago, driving a truck and a big 18-wheeler, I could just sleep in the back of the truck while the truck's driving.
No, boy, I hope not.
I mean, if it can drive itself, I don't need to be there.
Jetliners can fly themselves, but they still have a pilot.
I mean, it can try to wake me up. If it's morning time, it ain't going to happen.
You see that now? Yeah, we've got these Mercedes cars have doze awareness and stuff like that. Nod off, it'll do a little beep beep at you, and you have to. It should be saying, "I've got a hotel room waiting for you at the next exit. You're too tired to drive." That would be the kind of thing. That's really cool. I mean, hopefully. I mean, I hope as a human being that we're not like that 100 years from now. I hope that we're not much different. That we still want to go outside and go see things. I love being here in the mountains. That's what I do on the weekends. I'll go up, if I have time, I'll go for a drive up in the mountains. Pick a road and go and drive and go see, what's out there.
I'll look for a video of the mountains or something. But all right, and now tell me your prediction for 1,000 years, and then I got to tell you what I'm thinking.
1,000 years, there's no way to predict that. There just isn't. How about you? Just? 1,000 years from now, there's no saying. It'll be really nice, because 1,000 years from now, that's when it's going to be the worst from all this global warming stuff, right?
Well, here's my predictions. 10 years from now, I think keyboards will disappear.
Yeah.
It'll be all voice activated. Like, you can go on to Google now and be like, Google search for this, or whatever.
Mm-hmm. It's not far from that now.
And in 100 years from now, I think humans will begin to lose their actual, not the ability, but the want to speak to other people.
No, I hope not. No. Huh.
And 1,000 years from now, we will not be able to talk at all. It'll all be transmitted data.
No, I really don't think that. Oh, wow.
We will be able to connect to each other via wireless connection and just send our thoughts wirelessly 1,000 years from now.
It could probably happen, but wow, what a bleak future you paint for us, don't you, Jack?
Well, no, I mean, now just imagine, instead of sitting here having this whole conversation that we've had, we could have it in like seconds.
Yeah, that would mean that we'd have to evolve to be able to consume that amount of information that fast. That would be really cool to be able to have, fast information so you learn kind of Matrix style,
Yeah, like, you were speaking of going to the mountains and like why, instead of, or maybe, maybe the speaking's still there, but while you're speaking of going to the mountains, your vision of your mountains comes into my head. I see you in the mountains,
All right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be more like the Google Glasses thing could do that too. Like, oh, here's pictures of where I just was. That were video, because it's always taking video. These Google Glasses, by the way, always taking video of what you're doing. So being able to store all that and then share that with people, because it does seem to be. If you look at what's really hot on the internet now, that Pinterest site, that's nothing but pictures. Lots and lots of pictures. The less text, the better. That Instagram, Tumblr, things like that. It's all here, just pictures. And so that's how, instead of we used to write notes to each other and then text and stuff. Here's what we're doing, things we're doing. No, here's a picture of what we're doing now, which is a picture's worth 1,000 words, right? And then video. Here's a little video clip of what we just did now, and I think definitely in the next 100 years, the way we consume this information, monitors basically built into your own line of sight. I could have my own. That would be kind of cool, but the reason I sound hesitant about it, because man, that sounds kind of a sad way to live. Let's go out and see what God made for us.
We'll have a connection on us that we'll be able to, call Ian. It's implanted in us.
So then, what happens when it starts to have problems? Like, say you have a nightmare in the middle of the night, and you call me. And you didn't.
I'm telling you, if somebody ever invents the technology to record dreams and nightmares, I would invest in it.
Oh, yeah. Boy, that Hollywood would be in for it then, wouldn't they?
I'm telling you, because I've had night terrors ever since I was little. Most kids grow out of them, but, some adults, there's a little percentage keep them.
Oh, yeah? Oh, okay. I don't.
Friends of mine will tell you that I'll kick and scream and punch and cry and holler in my sleep.
Oh, man. I'm sorry.
Buddy of mine, we used to work at the sheriff's department, and, we never took naps there, okay? Never.
Of course not.
No. But, one night he told me that, we was up in the tower and I was screaming while I was sitting there, wide awake.
Wow.
And the new guy looked over at him and said, it's just normal.
He has Tourette's.
Well, I was actually sleeping. I'll go ahead and admit it. And I was screaming in my sleep.
Oh, wow. But I bet that was a sight to see.
But I would love, because, I used to videotape myself sleeping.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember one night I videotaped myself, and there's a whole hour of videotape missing.
Uh-oh.
It's like it went, and it's not no time saver, daylight savings time, or anything like that. It went from like 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock.
Ah.
I think I was probed by aliens.
Why would you want to be probed by aliens?
I didn't say I wanted to be. I'm just saying there was a whole hour missing on that videotape.
What would aliens want with you, Jack?
I don't know. I could be the most awesome person in the world.
Of course.
No, but
aliens.
Now, you know me. I believe in aliens and I believe in technology, and there has to be people out there, a million years ahead of us, a million years behind us, close to the same level we are.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like we would already be talking to them by now.
Mm-mm. I think it is very highly likely that there is life out there in the universe somewhere, because it doesn't seem to be as hard to create as scientifically speaking, anyways. And then other smart beings out there, yeah, but the universe is so big that it's highly unlikely that we will encounter each other at the same time.
Now,
Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, but they found a planet about 16 light years from here.
Okay, 16 light years. Now, a light year is what? Now it's the distance light travels in 1 year.
Yeah.
Do you know how far that is? It's like 6 trillion miles.
Yeah.
Trillion with a T.
Yeah.
And let's see. Have we discussed the 500,000 grains of sand?
Yeah.
How big that would be?
And 186,000 miles a second. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the speed of light. Yeah, miles per second. Yes, and light travels in a year about 6 trillion miles, and then you said 16 times 6 trillion. Now that's so far. Even if we could go the speed of light, it would take 16 years to get there.
Now, sound waves, radio waves. If there is life there, we should already pick up what they're doing.
No, because it would take 6. Okay. No. Okay. So this planet, you said that somebody's discovered, because as far as I know, okay, I haven't heard of this one.
Well, I'm not saying there's life there. They just discovered the planet there. You know,
planet.
It's in the Goldilocks zone of capable of housing life.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes it's capable, but then we would have heard from them already.
Yeah.
But see, okay, then just going statistically speaking, another, even if there is another sentient, species out there like we are, if we want to get into that debate or not, but yeah, we would have heard of them by now. Them being on the same level as we are at the same time doesn't seem. It's not very likely. Not very likely at all. I mean, they could just be a few thousand years behind us. Think about where we were 1,000 years ago. Mm-hmm. Talking about 1100 A.D.
Or a few thousand years ahead of us, but wouldn't we still get their radio signals, or did they come to us before we had radio?
That's the thing. Yeah, that could be it too.
Yeah,
yeah. There you go. I mean, their method of communication, their radio, might be way different than ours. The way because light is really just radio. Radio waves are light that we can't see. Mm-hmm. Think about it that way. But, yeah, that might be the problem. And then if they're ahead of us, they're probably waiting for us to develop warp. We got to have warp before they'll come and talk to us. That's just the prime directive, right?
Yeah, the prime. But I do think we'll be able to travel the stars, and it may take 10,000 years. It may take to the destruction of mankind and rebuild and take another 100,000 years, but eventually we'll get there. And I think we'll figure out a way to go from here to there in no time.
In no time, huh?
Yeah.
Nothing can go faster than the speed of light. Hadn't you heard?
But see, that's what you've been told.
Yeah, but see, even though mathematically, if you go faster than the speed of light, you go forward in time. I think I got that right. Yeah, you go forward in time is what happens when you go faster than the speed of light. Or
time slows down, and the people on Earth would go forward in time.
Yeah, the way you perceive time, yeah. You go away and you come back and you're not as old as everybody else age. No, it's the other way around, actually. Yeah. If we were to take off from a spaceship here and travel at the speed of light for, a while and come, maybe a month or two and then come back, we would have ourselves still aged 2 months, but on Earth, relative to us, they would have gone further.
Yeah.
So actually, shoot, I don't even remember. I don't even know if I've got all these things.
Yeah, you're right.
We need somebody to call in and straighten us out on these.
You're right. But
I
see,
don't know.
But there's got to be a way around it, and I go off my tangents here with you because I like a technology guy to talk to.
Okay.
But I do believe that somehow, some way, whether it's a wormhole, Stargate, warp drive, the bending of space and time itself, and I have to say that time is an invention of man.
No, no. That's the unit of time is, but not time itself.
I mean, because not getting into religion here, but they say God can see the past, present, and future at one time. So maybe one of these days we will too.
Right. Well, I mean, some people call it the fourth dimension. It is the fourth dimension. There's, time, space, up, down, left, right, time, that too. But mathematically, they've shown that there's multiple dimensions that we can't even see, we can't even comprehend. Just because we can't see it, it's hard to understand something that you can't see. That's why these mathematician people, I mean, they really do live, or they see the world in such different ways than we can. It'd be kind of like that Neo guy looking at the Matrix, looking at it decoded. It was just a bunch of numbers, and but they see what the images. And I think that's the way mathematicians are. They're kind of scary that way, but it's hard to describe things if you can't see the math. I guess describe what it would look like, what a fifth dimension would be. I think those are the things. I mean, 100 years ago we didn't even know that the universe went beyond our galaxy, and now we know that there's billions and billions of galaxies out there. There are more galaxies than there are, what they say, grains of sand on every beach on Earth. And each galaxy has a billion, at least a billion stars. I mean, we're talking ridiculous numbers here. So I think our understanding of the universe and the way it works is going to just expand our culture, hopefully, so much further.
And we will talk to aliens one of these days. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. I believe they're here right now. I believe our technology leap that we've had in the last 50 years is because of aliens.
Huh, okay.
I mean, because just imagine, we've progressed further in 100 years than we have in the last 10,000 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, look at the Roswell crash.
Oh, that wasn't 100 years ago.
Well, I know it wasn't. I'm saying, we went from riding horses to trains to automobiles went from vacuum tubes to technology.
Right. We've had how many wars between then too? That's most of our technology has come from military spending, and we had the Cold War, which was basically just military spending on both sides, and posturing and things like that. And I mean, lots of stuff got done for military purposes, and I think it just makes sense that.
Yeah, and just imagine, where the human citizen is about 30 years behind the military technology. So imagine what they have now.
Yeah, well, now corporations have grown to be able to have budgets where they can develop things. So it's not just the government that are developing things. I mean, they still provide tons of the funding for it, but there's lots of private companies that do it, especially medical. And as far as how to kill somebody, yes, the government is 30 years ahead in every level. But there's other things that the private sector are doing.
Well, Ian, let everybody know about you and your business.
Okay, well, Ian Bible, I own Greenville IT, small, medium-sized business IT support and solutions here in Greenville and Greene County in East Tennessee. You can find my website, greenvillit.com. It explains a lot of what I do. I do home, residential. All my work is out in the field. I come to you, to your business, to your house, and do the work on whatever technology you have. Don't just fix computers. I create networks, build systems of information systems for your entire business. Do business process. What's the word? I help smooth out certain business processes. If there's technology you have that you can use to make each business process better, that's what I do. Not just fixing computers. It goes far beyond that. It's hard to describe off the top of my head. most of the time what it is here we have this problem, and they call me, and I come and I fix it.
Well, you're a problem solver.
Yep, that's mostly what I do.
Well, don't forget to check out Woody J with Greenville Today tomorrow morning from 6 to 9 a.m. And we'll be live tomorrow at the Hyperion with Cody and Cody in the Overtime Show at 7 o'clock. Check us out. Tune in. Don't forget our sponsors, Realty Executives, and Tommy's Plumbing. Bye, everybody.